YNABers, my name is Jesse Meekum from YNAB. It stands for You Need a Budget. Welcome to another Whiteboard Wednesday. You do need a budget. And it's not because you want to set up some plan and then you can just execute that plan and never have to change it. Quite the opposite. Rule 3 dictates that we roll with the punches, that we make changes as our priorities change or as our circumstances change. And circumstances can change with or without our consent. So we have to be really comfortable with that. I remember distinctly a learning moment early in our marriage where we had just moved. And you know when you move, you have all these other kind of one-off expenses that were happening, deposits for utilities, deposits for our apartment, just setting stuff up, and just felt like money was just flowing out and not a lot coming in. We were just starting a new job and it wasn't like the job was paying a ton or anything. So we were on the bleeding end of things. And Julie said, hey, when are we going to get a couch? We didn't own a couch. And we have this empty apartment and no couch, nowhere to sit. And finally, she'd asked a couple times, and I don't remember the first couple conversations, but one in particular stands out where she says, when are we going to get a couch? And I said, well, let's just wait until there's a normal month. We got all this stuff going on. Let's just wait until we have a normal month, then we'll get the couch. And she wisely, very wisely said, so you're saying we'll never get a couch? And what Julie was saying in her wisdom was that there really is no normal month. So when you're starting with your budget, whether you're budgeting just a single paycheck, a lump sum that you happen to get, $10 you found in the couch, I don't know. But usually, if you've been running YNAB for a little while, you're budgeting at the beginning of the month. And what you want to do is just treat that month as new. Now, you can use the quick budget option. You can deselect all your categories. And on the right, on your right, you'd see this column where you can say, you know, quick budget, everything I did last month, and it'll pre-fill it in. That's the tedious part, which we love eliminating. But the work part happens now, where you go through and you analyze and you say, okay, it's no longer January, it's now February. It's no longer February, it's now March. And you know that saying or that game where you say one of these is not like the other? With budgeting, no month is like the other ever, 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 ever. So you just have to recognize that when you're starting each month, treat it new. Just brand new. No ideas from the past, really. Now, of course, quickly you'll say, oh, well, we normally spend X on blah, you know, and all that. Absolutely. But if you can approach it from a new vantage point instead of, hey, just do whatever we did last month, you'll start to do more work. And that's that meaningful work we always talk about, where you're actually deciding what your priorities are. You're actually proactively planning, you're thinking ahead, instead of just kind of reactively saying, oh yeah, just do last month and whatever. The budget becomes less meaningful when we're just saying, do whatever we did last month, I don't want to give it a lot of thought. The budget becomes meaningful when we give it thought, when we say, this is March. What will March bring? Let's think hard about March. Okay, let's think hard about April, May. Let's look ahead. What do we have coming up? Are we ready? Are we really prepared? The thinking hard part is where the budgeting value really comes in. And I just want you to kind of make that a part of your budget meeting, if you're sharing your finances for sure, where you say, okay, this month is new. What are we going to do? Brand new month. You approach it that way and you'll find that you're making some great, just absolutely fantastic decisions. I will see you guys next week.